Main Street officially began at the front of Blake's Furniture Emporium. From a distance, the Emporium's steel frame stood out from the treetops, through the pile of concrete and brick, the burnt beams and floorboards long since rotten, the massive sign painted in red, white, and blue long since forgotten. This is a shame, as the sign was once the talk of the town. Red and white and blue, 50 stars tied and true, a true red-blooded American business built from the ground up. By the bootstraps, young man, by the bootstraps. The Emporium burned down decades ago, under unusual circumstances. Robert "Robbie" Blake was later found dead behind the wheel of his pickup truck. It was a red-blooded death of a patriot, as was the hyperbole of his very public eulogy. Everyone was proper in their tears, not too many tears, but not too few. Everyone knew what a rascal and a bastard he was, and made truce with that fact by forgetting it. The man was dead and gone, so it was not necessary to malign his memory or linger on the past. Ghosts were for fiction, not for real life. There was no mention of the cause of death, not that anyone really wanted to know. Even among the gossips, the cause of his death was never mentioned, whether it was suicide or murder or a robbery gone bad. Maybe it was a heart attack, as dear Robbie Blake wasn't known for his health and well-being. Perhaps it was heat stroke, as he was found during one of the hottest days on record, though this was the day his body was found, not the moment of his death, 3:45 a.m. on June 16th, 1998, approximately. The medical examiner's report gave no cause of death other than natural causes. That was all that was necessary. That was all that was recorded. The vagueness of the natural causes declaration festered, eventually inspiring something of an uproar in the community. Even as the Emporium's foundations still simmered, the investigation of the fire quickly brushed it aside as accidental. The gossips, bored with conventional conversation about lies, sex, lives, and secrets, dared to suggest the medical examiner was somehow involved. Conspiracy. This was the thrill of the conspiracy, inventing puzzle pieces to a puzzle that didn't really exist, breaking conclusions apart just for the sake of remaking them into the image of dastardly deeds. Regardless of those few daring to utter such conspiratorial gossip, everyone understood one thing and one thing only. Robert "Robbie" Blake deserved what he got, no matter the cause. Better town folk didn't talk about such things. Farmers prone to chatting over coffee at the local co-op store considered it a conspiracy of the local business owners, because of the Emporium. The local wives, either retired or grandmotherly, confided to each other lurid stories about Robbie Blake's wife. That his untimely and well-deserved death was related to the fact Ella Blake had vanished shortly before or after the Emporium's fire. Was it before the fire? Was it after the fire? It didn't matter to the gossips. Where was she buried? A decade followed. Ella Blake never returned. Robbie Blake's death was willfully forgotten. The Emporium remained as a gutted shell, a reminder of things not to be remembered. Ghosts were for fiction, not for real life. The black char that stained the concrete had leached into the soil from years of rain, frost, snow, and thaw, weathering away red brick, eating away at bolts, rivets, leaving a chronic gray that blunted any color from the wildflowers growing along the remaining walls. Gray was the preferred color in this part of town, from the mud-caked tractors rumbling around the co-op to the dust-covered coveralls every other farmer wore. The trailer homes were shades of gray, with the thoughtless imposition of bargain basement caskets. This was farm country, and it was the growing season.